What's going on, everyone? My name is Dallas, aka Infurness, and welcome back to another episode of YouTube Unsolved. We are on Season 3, Episode number 2. Now today we're going to be covering the Sinister Disappearance of Ash Robinson. That's right. Now, you may have heard that name. It might be clicking in your brain because this was featured in a similar series to YouTube Unsolved, which you should also check out as well, called The Most Disturbing Channels That Should Not Exist on YouTube. And speaking about YouTube Unsolved, there's actually new YouTube Unsolved merch. It should be right underneath this video description. Go ahead and check that out if you're a fan of this series. But either way, welcome back to Unsolved Universe. And let's get straight into it. So it's not very often when we have a case of an entire YouTube personality just disappearing, and literally never returning. It's the last thing that you ever want to find on YouTube, but turns out that might be what you get. So Ash Robinson was a YouTuber that made exploration videos. Basically every single abandoned place that ever existed, you'd expect her to make a video on it. Lots of these places were also apparently supposed to be haunted. So yeah, that's a good touch. Not my exact choice of occupation. It seems a little bit hazardous to me, but whatever cooks your goose. So what she would do would be film these places, and then add her commentary afterwards over the video, explaining the best parts of the video. She would rarely ever actually commentate live with the recording.
Hey guys, it's Ash again. Sorry for the long pause in videos. I've been kind of caught up in school studies and all that, but I finally got around to exploring the neighborhood I talked about in the last episode. I feel like it was worth the wait because out of all the places we've been to, I don't think one has seemed as entirely forgotten as Elroy. So, as always, we're gonna get into my favorite parts of the footage, some antiques, abandoned houses, and more.
This itself isn't really out of the ordinary. Of course, we have a whole bunch of Scooby-Doo type YouTube channels that exist here on YouTube. However, we're going to be drawing some connections here with another rhyming incident that took place on YouTube involving a channel called Snakebit McGee. I think you're going to be able to draw some connections, and let me just tell you, this is a juicy episode, so make sure you strap yourself in, watch till the end. In November of 2015, Ash Robinson uploaded a video simply entitled, "One of the weirdest places I've been to." A shorter style of video where she commented on an unmarked location she had visited and investigated. Apparently unplanned, as she found it on the way back from a previous investigation. It wasn't marked on any map. One portion of the video commentary, however, leads us to the beginning of this situation that would lead to her inevitable disappearance.
So one other thing I wanted to talk about that's on that same note is actually something quite interesting. I got an email just a few days ago telling me about this place in California and how it was like the best haunted place to investigate. And apparently no one knows about it, so it would be the perfect fit for one of my videos. So I'm planning on getting that arranged. I don't live anywhere near California. Actually, it's across the country, so it might be a minute, but I just thought you'd be excited for that.
In this segment of the video, she goes off to talk about how there was a new location that was apparently interesting and that she could check out. Sent from an anonymous user, she later revealed in a Facebook post that indeed, all the nameless person sent her was the coordinates of the place in the middle of the desert, and claims of how it could be the most viral-worthy video yet if she were to go, since it was a supposedly very haunted cistern located in a ghost town. We're going to get to the details of what exactly happened after this, but to summarize, the response from her audience was indeed mixed with excitement and apprehension of the idea. On one hand, investigating what could be the most abandoned and purportedly haunted location yet seemed like something that would push Ash Robinson's relatively small channel on the map. But on the other, major red flags seemed to get raised while taking a second glance at the details of the situation. Okay, so there's lots of information here. First, let's dissect this one by one. Who is this random person who doesn't go by any name, and why are they supposedly the only person who knows about this mysterious place of which they're sending Ash Robinson? The abandoned cistern was located north of Salton City on the Salton Sea, a location a whole country away from where Ash Robinson lived. She lived all the way out on the eastern coast. This is all the way in the Californian Wild West. So at this point, we should discuss the debate that the audience of Ash Robinson had with her in whether or not she should actually go there to begin with. Many people pointed out red flags, and many people just ignored it and told her to just do it anyways. Very outgoing people. Some people went as far as to say that she would be in actual danger if she were to go there because of the known human trafficking groups that apparently exist in those derelict areas of Southern California, and that it was a high chance that this person was actually trying to lure her into one of those situations. So this particular comment that pointed that out was not directly interacted with by Ash Robinson, but it will be a very important note to consider in the future. So now on to the part where it gets real. The very day that the exploration of the abandoned cistern video was posted on Ash Robinson's channel, 2 other videos were posted as well, and they were nothing like Ash Robinson had ever posted. The cistern video had no commentary, just raw footage, which was very unlike her usual style. As I mentioned, she would usually commentate over the footage and edit it only showing the parts she was talking about at a given time. And that also leads me into the fact that it was not even edited. It was just a 30-minute long video with no commentary exploring this place. We only have a few screenshots of the thumbnail of this video because there's only bits and pieces of this channel that are actually left known by people who investigated this and tried to come to an answer before us. We're going to be trying to solve this mystery, of course, but there's really not much left of the puzzle. So it almost looks like the files were just taken from her camera and uploaded straight to her channel. And this would actually explain the typo in the title of the video, exploring the abandoned cistern. Maybe not the most uncommon typo, but, you know, whatever. But of course, the next 2 videos is where the whole story just gets beyond unnerving. They were very short, only 1 minute long. The first one was titled MVI 2015-112, and it clearly featured a van. We don't have any footage of this van. We don't have any footage of this video. But the next one, which was called MVI 2015-112-1, was taking place in a barn/shed, which looks eerily similar to the location of which Ash Robinson supposedly went to. This video featured someone who was clearly tied up, being held by the cameraman. It's really just some straight up deep web type crap. Welcome to the YouTube iceberg yet again. We have coffee, we have laxatives. You probably don't need that watching this series. And then after this, the channel name was changed to complete gibberish. Well, it wasn't gibberish, but number sequences or whatever. And this was the last time anyone ever saw or heard of anything from Ash Robinson. So people have attempted to uncover the original channel, but have only been able to find re-uploads. And we know it still exists because the Internet Archive thumbnails, which documents the whole entire internet, still shows the thumbnails of the videos. So clearly the channel is still out there. Where is she? No one knows. That's the whole problem here. So let's just take a step back from the nope train for a little bit and look into this a little bit deeper. On one of the occasions where we actually have screenshots of her interacting with one of the comments, we get to see her say in reaction that if I had to get there on foot, it would be because Google Maps can't find it. So not even Google Maps can find this location. Doesn't really make much sense. I'm not sure if she would be referring to like Google Street View or Google Navigation, because I'm pretty sure Google Maps has every single thing unless it's on like Yuccopotamia or something like that. If this is the case, where exactly is the abandoned cistern? There are a plethora of abandoned places in this area. After all, it was left a vacant ghost town decades ago. But if Google Maps apparently can't track the coordinates, then that leaves us with only one option. I'm going to go there and find it myself. I'd rather just stay here in this safe, nice room, but I'd do it for you. Basically, this is the closest place that I can imagine the abandoned cistern could be located at, and there's like I can't really tell a difference between buildings that are still occupied and buildings that are completely abandoned, because they all basically look the exact same. Okay, well, we're here where Trevor lives. Now, where to find the cistern? So basically in the 1950s, this place was just being newly developed as apparently some kind of a desert resort type thing. It was kind of like a new thing, like, because this ocean was just kind of brand new for the most part. Now, obviously, as people start to realize that, well, this place kind of sucks, they start moving out very quickly and leaving behind what we can see here. That right there could be a cistern? I don't know, I mean, looks like a burger stand to me, actually. There's an actual well right here, I think. I don't know what's in here. This very well could be the actual cistern. But the building the cistern is named after, I have no idea, that's the thing. In terms of a cistern, whatever that's supposed to be, looking it up, it's apparently a watering well or something like that. And looking up any cistern in this area, or this city, nothing really shows up. But it doesn't really look like anything would show up around here, so I'm not sure if that's saying much. However, there is a well that's all the way back there that we're gonna check out. Okay, so we have some kind of a well right here. I'm not sure if this is a building for it, or... I just really don't know, man. I don't want to go in there. I'm not going in there. That's not happening. So of course, in the thumbnail of the investigating the abandoned cistern video, the last legitimate video that Ash Robinson would publish on her channel, which was even thought to not be published by her, the thumbnail included green grass type foliage around whatever building that she was nearby. And well, if we could just take a look at this place, it's kind of matching that profile just a little bit. I don't want to go in there. You can go in there. I'm not going in there. Hello? Ash Robinson? Are you in here? I don't think she's in here. It certainly doesn't look like it's matching the level of green that we saw in the thumbnail, but the building and the area around it was certainly right here. That is the abandoned cistern building. I'm just putting that out there right now, that's my guess. We don't know the exact coordinate location, but ultimately we do know it was north of Salton City, which this is, and it was in a place where it was a lot, somewhat foliage around, and maybe a well or something like that. I can definitely see why that if someone was planning on doing something to her, why they would want her to come to this place, because there's just no one here. Like, it's just unbelievable. Like, if you remember the only other in real life investigation that we ever did on YouTube Unsolved, which was season 2 episode 1, and I went to that canyon where supposedly this person was using a whole bunch of phones to contact all these people, and they were really creepy. The feeling I felt there of isolation and like I'm not supposed to be here in terms of the aura being weird feeling, magnify that by like 12, and then that's just about this place. And add in a tiny bit of a smell of ridiculous amounts of salt, and you're pretty much on the spot right there with this. Even though Ash Robinson never shared the exact coordinates of the abandoned cistern, I feel like it's fair to assume that due to the similarity of the environment in the second disturbing video clip that was uploaded to her channel, that it's definitely in this area, if not in the very building that I was just in. As for the motive behind the crime, and the aftermath of whatever happened to Ash Robinson if the scenario is indeed true, can only be theorized. Either way, at minus 200 feet below sea level, and without any sunscreen, I decided to head on out. Okay, so going back to the trafficking comment. the claim that there are somehow human traffic. Going back to the traffic. Oh my gosh. Benny in the Jets. So going back to the traffic. Oh my Jesus, I can't say. So going back to the trafficking comment, the claim that there are somehow human trafficking groups in the Salton Sea area is by no means something I would not believe in. Because, let's be real, we were just there. You and I, we saw what that place looked like, and so imagine Grove Street, but no police. Yeah. Don't go there. But this commenter was very specific, very similar to the comment that was told to Kenny Lee Veach, who ran the channel Snakebit McGee, right before he went missing, as if they knew something that everyone else didn't. If you go to this M cave, which was his situation, he went to a cave and never came back. If you go to this, you won't come back. He never came back. So, what is going on here with these disappearances? Here are the conclusions, because you know what time it is. Okay, so basically it's looking like we have two options forming here. Number one, Ash Robinson somehow formulated the most complex and the most unnecessary, ridiculous, staged hoax way of quitting YouTube you could possibly humanly ever do, or something considerably bad actually happened here. So number one, she staged the entire thing. The likely pros to this argument is that the whole situation seems a little bit predictable. You had the anonymous email, you had the coordinates, and afterwards the channel name was just renamed to just complete rubbish. You just get a little bit of vibes like the whole thing was just a little bit too movie-like to be real. There was absolutely no police report on anyone in this area at that time, in November of 2015. And now for the cons, we haven't seen or heard anything from Ash Robinson this entire time since then. So why would she be still going at it? And how on earth would she be this good? And she did make it clear in her older videos that Ash Robinson was not her real name. It was actually just her online alias, which would explain the lack of Ash Robinson being in any local police report. Even though there's no police there, I mean, so why does it matter? I was expecting to find a couple dead bodies going into those houses, I'm not gonna lie. They just leave them there, like they just don't even... That's just like, well, neighbors drive by, that's another one. Well, just drag him to the side, you know, just leave him there. And the second option is that this situation is indeed real. Ash Robinson was kidnapped by an unknown person or group, or possibly even worse. Alright, so the pros of this would explain the lackluster footage that was uploaded to her channel, the unedited footage of her exploring the place, and then also the fact that someone could have taken her camera, used it to record her, and then uploaded the footage to her YouTube channel before changing everything, deleting everything, and renaming it. All within just a few hours. The footage does show a tied-up female human being. So, whatever unspeakable acts that could have happened after this 60 seconds, we have no known explanation of what's going on in this video, or the previous one that was uploaded to her channel. Whether or not there are actually human trafficking incidents taking place throughout it, and there's really just scattered evidence all across that whole area of certain very isolated events taking place. So, my final thoughts on this entire mystery is that Ash Robinson was obviously an explorative YouTuber, an urban adventurous urban exploration, whatever the exact terminology for that is. I honestly just can't give my opinion really conclusively on this entire situation because there's just so many angles to cover for me that I just can't decide. She literally vlogged her own kidnapping. Or did she? We don't know, because this mystery is still unsolved. But that pretty much doesn't mean that there isn't more things to be discovered about this. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you found it to be very mysterious. Feel free to link your own suggestions on what you think happened in the comment section, because of course with the episodes where we don't get to a final answer of what happened with things, I always like to hear your feedback, because sometimes you people just become way better Sherlock Holmes than me, and you can figure it out. But anyways, this has been YouTube Unsolved Season 3, Episode 2. My name is Dallas, aka Infurness, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.